Good morning, everybody. I hope this video finds you well. I've often spoken about the importance of a little bit of exercise, eating well, staying away from stress and strife. And while I try to do that, my life is not perfect. I've got a little kid that I'm herding around all the time, and my other activities take up a lot of my time. But over time, we really need to go check and see the doctor. And I haven't had a checkup a full body checkup in a long, long time. Not since before I moved to China. And so I went and had one. I've got various issues going on in my body. I'm an old man after all. But one of the most perplexing issues for me was that when I would be exercising, I'm not gaining any muscle mass. That never happened to me before. Never at all. Seriously. I should normally see results after I do a couple of days of arm curls. My arms should start puffing up and everything. I'm not seeing anything. I was like, what the hell is going on? A lot of times we attribute these inconsistencies in a comparative way with ourselves in the past with simply growing old. But growing old is a catchphrase of a lot of other things. And so I went to the doctor, and of course, because of my age and everything, the first thing they wanted to do is do a prostate check. Now, in the United States, prostate checks are basically a doctor goes over and sticks their finger up your anus and feels the prostate, and it feels big, then he runs other tests and stuff, which in the United States can be pretty damn expensive. Not here in China. They just go ahead and do the tests. So I went on over. Relax, guys. Relax. My tests say that I'm okay. I don't have anything bad about me, but he did give me some very, very bad news. And the bad news is beyond horrible. I have to lose weight. It could have been anything else, but losing weight, it's one thing if the missus says you got to lose weight, or if your friends say you got to lose weight, and your scale stops working because you're too heavy. That's one thing. But when the doctor says you must lose weight, I've never been so shocked in my life. It totally blew me away. Now, the good news is everything's normal. My blood works normal. My urine's normal. Everything. I got a couple of raised this and a couple lower that. That's fine. But generally, I'm overall pretty normal, with the one exception is that there's lots and lots of fatty tissue around all my inner organs. My prostate is larger because of fat. Not because of cancer, but because of fat. And that goes through my other organs as well. It's right across the board. My kidney's a little bit larger. My everything's got fatty buildup around. I got to start losing weight. And the doctor tells me that I got to do aerobic exercises. I'm like, a goddamn aerobic exercise. I don't have any time for aerobic exercises. So he told me stop eating meats, eat fruits and vegetables. Well, these are basic stuff I tell you guys, but this is serious now. So gave me lots of medicines. I'm going to go back for another checkup. Then we're going to start a herbal regime. But in the meantime, I have cut down my dosages of food, my daily dosage of food, to 1/4 of what I normally eat, which is normally huge amounts. But the big difference here is my wife's on board with this. We had a talk. I says, we can't go have these big mega buffets that you want all the time. And she argues, yeah, but my little, our little one won't eat anything, so we got to get a smorgasbord. I say, you can get the smorgasbord all you want, but I'm only going to be eating this much of it. So that's the good thing. She's on board with it. But also I have to do aerobics. So I started jogging to work. Now you got to understand, to my office here, it's a distance. It takes me about a 15-minute walk. So if I start jogging it, but I'm wearing a 15 kg pack in my backpack. So I tried doing it. I could only do it for maybe a minute and a half. I must have been the most pathetic looking guy. Here's some foreigner with a backpack trying to jog. It must have been the stupidest, funniest thing you ever did see, but you gotta do what you gotta do, don't you know? Now the reason why this whole thing came on up was because the thing about gaining weight and everything is it's gradual. Everything about our life is gradual. Over a period of time, we take it for granted. And but I like to lift weights, and I've been noticing that I no longer build muscle mass when I lift weights. Instead, my muscles just either tighten up or they're kind of shrinking. They're not building up muscle mass, and so that's a hormonal issue. So I wanted to find out what's going on. And basically, the doctor told me that androgens is hormones that control muscle mass, control sex, and controls all kinds of stuff. And for body health, I have to keep the androgens being produced like a healthy man. And so, but if you gain weight, your androgens go down. So if you're a woman, it's progesterone, but if you're a man, it's testosterone. And androgens is the non-binary name for the class of androgen for testosterones and progesterones. So yeah, so basically low male hormones means I can't build up any mass, and my body decides instead to start taking everything I eat and converting it into fat because it somehow believes that I am going to experience some kind of calamity and I must store energy. So not only does the muscle mass decrease and doesn't do anything, but my body is trying to warehouse everything I eat, which really sucks. So that's pretty much the bottom line of what's going on here. Now, obviously, I have changed my diet. I have reduced everything to a quarter of what I normally eat. And I'm trying to do a little bit of aerobic exercise. I jog when I go to the office, as I mentioned, or trying to do all this stuff. And the medicines, I'm not relying on the medicines. The medicines are correcting things because as you have buildup in fat in your body, it does other things, like if you can imagine it, blocking access to other activities and stuff. So we got to get all this stuff done. So there's different kinds of medicines, and I'll be switching to a holistic, herbal, traditional Chinese medicine regime after a week or so. And that's for me on a personal note. But what this means is that I'll be a better person as a result of it. The checkout doesn't say that I have anything to be worried about, aside from the fact that I'm overweight. But the being overweight, it's one thing to your wife or your spouse tells you that, but it's another thing if the doctor tells you that. And being overweight is a silent ticking time bomb. So you got to go get that under control. Got to get that under control. So everything's okay on this side here. Now, I'm going to move off to this basic subject here. and want to say a couple of other words. I kind of communicate with Domain Commander, and I don't know, Domain Commander chuckles about the whole thing. Says, you wanted that body. you get everything that comes with it. So the good and the bad. So that's that. So for all of you, to give you a little bit of insight on what the Domain Commander thinks of my situation, they think it's funny. They think it's humorous. And that's that. There's a lot of other things going on in the geopolitical scene, and don't get too caught up in it. I've said this over and over again. It's kind of hard not to get too caught up in it. The narrative has shifted away a little bit from World War III is going to happen any day now, because they're focusing right now on elections. And of course, the elections are being bombarded with Kamala Harris is going to win, Kamala Harris is going to win. Every evil ever known to man has been conducted by Donald Trump. This is the standard boilerplate bullshit that you get in the States all the time. Don't believe any of it, okay? And I want you guys to, if you have opportunities, go see your doctor. Run necessary tests. Find out what's going on. Why does your stomach, for instance, why does your stomach feel sour all the time? Why do you have runny noses all the time? These little things, these little things about health, they're things that will be indicators of other stuff. As far as me, I'm on losing weight is something I can do. Doesn't mean I want to do it, but it's something I can do, and so I'm doing it. Okay? I know there's a couple of people out there who's been in the same shoes I'm in, and can assert their success or failures in doing this kind of stuff. If you got anything to say about it, please contribute in the comments. Of course, I read all the comments, guys. You guys are good. You guys are great. All right, I'm going to pass this on for now. I'm going to give you something a little bit more delicious in the future, but for right now, this is what's going on. Take care, people, and remember, I believe in you. Bye-bye. The youth them tired living on the red line. The money no excuse to rob the blind. Our weapon in the car, they pass it down.是为了谁？我们的心碎。